Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another Chubbs Reviews. We get all your opinions, discussion, information on entertainment today, per se, or whatever, entertainment in general. Today, we'll be talking about another TV series or TV show on Netflix. A show on Netflix. I recently did a Tiger King review. Everyone's been buzzing about that. You can go see my opinions on it. The most recent Netflix show review. This Netflix show is Ozark. We just watched, or me and my mom actually watched season 3 together. I know, I'm so lonely. I watch it with my mother. But Ozark's pretty good. Ozark's one of my probably actually my favorite show on Netflix. The Witcher is kind of up there too. Obviously, did a review on that a while ago. But the Ozark in general is 3 seasons in, while Witcher is 1 season in. So Ozark has the my favorite show of all time on Netflix right now. Besides like Breaking Bad, and that's how I'm gonna compare this show. The Ozark is basically Netflix's Breaking Bad, even though Breaking Bad is also on Netflix. But essentially, I'm not gonna spoil too much, but I'm gonna give you the basis of like the first season or so. Kind of what led up to the third season. Anyway, you got a family, uh, just like in Breaking Bad. A husband played by Jason Bateman, Marty Bird and Wendy Bird, his wife, and then a young son and a daughter, about a teenage daughter, and I think they're just bankers at first. I just watched the third season, so my memory's kind of shady on the first season. But they were like bankers or something to do with money, and basically Marty's partner in their business ended up getting involved in some cartel shit and owed a lot of money through funneling money, washing money. What's the word? Can't think of the word that they do even. They just basically wash money, smuggle money, clean money, illegal money from drugs and whatnot, and they do it by buying businesses up. Actually, I'm skipping ahead a little bit. Jeez, I'm all over the place. I haven't watched the show in like a week. I finished it about a week ago, and I'm just now kind of thinking back about it, especially the beginning of the season, because the third season was so different from the first 2 seasons, in my opinion. But he got involved in this. They lived in Chicago. Their family had to move down to the Ozarks, hence why it's called the Ozark, and basically commit to the funneling money for this drug cartel through buying businesses and basically committing fraud through them and washing money through casinos or fishing boat places, a church. There's all types of shit, and it's really crazy because a lot of interesting characters get introduced in the Ozarks. It's very hillbilly hick down there. Not to be offensive, but like it is very redneck. Not even redneck. It is Ozark. It is the bayou. It is weird. Kind of scary. Some people are. The old man and his wife. Can't think of their names. Yeah, I can't remember anyone's name right now. But that's good. I'm not spoiling nothing. But there are some really crazy ass old people in this show, and she had one of the better stories of the third season, in my opinion, one of the only good ones. Because the third season, we're through the first 2 seasons, they end up getting so deep where they're basically talking to some of the head cartel people now, where they are in it, they are fully invested, and the entire third season though. It just seemed like it didn't go anywhere. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very disappointed by this season. Not that it wasn't great or nothing. Well, it wasn't. It was still good, but it's not. It's the worst of the 3 that I can recall. Maybe I need to rewatch it, but I'm gonna get into my rant of the third season now, so I actually know what I'm talking about. This third season, it just felt like they were like Marty and Wendy, the couple, were just not on the same page ever. The entire season, they kept getting on the same page and then fighting again, and that was they just held each other back the entire season. And not only that, they introduced Wendy's brother, which a lot of people were giving this man praise for his acting because he played a role of a mental disorder, kind of not mental disorder, but he had bipolar disorder, and he had bipolar to the extreme, which I'm not familiar with the bipolar disorder, but it seemed like they're making bipolar people seem nuts. Like, I get they have an issue, but this guy was nuts. Like, he needed to be in a nut house because he had bipolar disorder. That's not every case, obviously. But at first they introduce him, and you're really sympathetic. He's a simple guy, and then he ends up falling in love with a woman of the show, kind of, and he can't get hard while they have sex. So, and then they find out he can't get hard because he's on medication for his bipolar disorder. This makes him quit taking his medication. I'm kind of spoiling it, but this is a huge plot hole and just stupid to me. Makes him quit taking his medication, and then things change, right? Um, and then like throughout the entire like rest of the season, they're like, "What are we gonna do about him? What are we gonna do to solve this problem? What are we? Why don't they just get him back on his medication? What the fuck?" It's like, "Oh well, you can't get hard. Take another medication for that." I like it was so weird, and like I get his acting was good. Like he had a lot of freak out moments where he was angry, crying. You know, his bipolar was acting up or whatever. But it was that was the focus of the entire fucking season. Like I mean there was some other FBI shit going on, and a lot of good tension there. And Ruth was still a great actor. Whoever her actor is, I forgot their name. And Marty was just barely in it for me. Maybe that's why I don't like it. Marty Bird or Jason Bateman is one of my favorite actors. Like, not everyone says that. He's actually, like, number 2 next to Mark Wahlberg, if you want to know my favorite actor. And he just was barely in the fucking season to me. Like, everyone else got way more spotlight than him. And I didn't like that. I didn't like it at all. I don't know. It was so weird to me. And when he did get his spot, he was just never listened to. He was never taken seriously. He just got beat up. Like, it was just a rough season for Marty, and I didn't like that. Not that he's like a great guy and like deserves great things. Like everyone's a bad person. It's kind of that's why it's like Breaking Bad. There's no clear hero of the show. Maybe the kids, just like in Breaking Bad. But even the kids are a bit more crazy and into it than Breaking Bad was, and I like that. So overall, it was still a decent season, but it just got held back by it. This is one of those seasons that made me think, do they have like an ending planned for the show? And thank God, as soon as I watched the season, I saw a news story that was like, they plan to have 5 seasons for the show, so they have an ending already thought out. Otherwise, this was just some random like filler season. It felt like, why was this so filler? Like the FBI story got moved forward, but that was it. A little bit of crazy things with the older people got moved forward, and some weird lover shit happening. I'm just thinking about it. I don't want to spoil nothing, but man, there is some weird age gap shit going on. But anyway, and that was all cool, but it didn't take a whole. It shouldn't have took a whole season to build up something that wasn't that built up. The ending itself of the season was pretty cool, but very predictable. This show, like, not to be spoilery, but this show had a bad habit of introducing new characters, and they're not gonna be in the next season for whatever reason. Like, I knew it. I just knew it, and I was right. That's not saying they die. That's not saying anything. I'm just saying if they're a new character, they're not going to be there next season because it's like that. It just felt like that. It was so obvious. This was just the weakest, laziest season of the 3 yet. And I hope they have a good plan for moving on. And this was just like everyone was fucking crying. I remember that too. Even my mom was annoyed. Everyone was crying every scene. Like, quit. Yeah, I didn't like this season. Anyway, my final verdict still though, I bitched about it a lot, but it's gonna be a 6 out of 10. Not that rankings really matter, but for this season, it's a 6 out of 10. For the show itself, was like a fucking 10, and now it's like an 8. But season 1 and 2 are top notch. I would still watch Ozark. Maybe wait for season 4 to come out and then check back, watch all of it. But you could watch Ozark. I recommend it, especially during quarantine. It's probably the second best thing on Netflix out right now, next to the Tiger King. Then again, I haven't watched a lot. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out.